In this video, we're going to be looking at this new H16E, H16P from Hosim. Really intriguing truck here. 16th scale brushed entry-level 4x4 monster truck, but it has some unique features that you're not going to see on a lot of other vehicles. So let's get this out, let's get this stuff loaded in and see what we've got. Straight out of the box, we have a lot of stuff to look at. So this is the controller itself. Fairly good feel in the hands. Overall shape kind of reminds you of a more premium Futaba, but obviously that's just form. The function itself is much different here. But you do have your power switches, your throttle, dual rates, steering, trim, dual rates, reversing switches, everything that you'll need. There's a special button here on the side that, according to the manual, is going to tell it to go fast. We'll test that out later. It does come with a USB charging cable, a screwdriver, wheel wrench, and some very interesting looking batteries that are not a kind that I have seen anywhere else on an RC car. It does have the normal T-style plug here, USB charging adapter here. So it says it's a lithium polymer battery inside. It's a 7.4 volts. So it's going to be a 2S battery, 1000 milliamp, 1050 milliamp. It does come with two of them. Good and bad here. For the beginner, this is going to be very simple. You just plug it into the USB and it charges. Manual says about 80 minutes charge time. However, for us who are more in the hobby grade side, I cannot charge this on my normal hobby grade charger, which means they're kind of going to be useless for me as a full hobby grade side. Now, but someone just coming in, interesting, very budget friendly way of looking at these batteries. It has a little power indicator here on the side. I've already put some juice in this one so you can see that it shows that it's full. Like, that's a pretty intriguing and cool feature for these batteries. But a lot of the times I'm probably going to be swapping over to a typical battery with a balance plug so that I can use my standard chargers. Some assembly required. Here is the rear wing. See a couple screws there, so we need to mount the rear wing up. Wheelie bar, same thing there. We need to get that mounted up. A little Hosim branded case. And inside of it, looks like a cleaning brush, another screwdriver, spare wheel nuts, and some cables here that I don't know what those are for, but they're just two small little cables. So we're going to have to see if we can figure out what those are for. That's in this. And then here is a cell phone carrying strap for mounting your cell phone to your wrist, so you can look at the features that come in the thing that make this a very special vehicle. So it actually has a whole section in here that's all around a app that you can use with Bluetooth to connect to the vehicle and get some features out of. So we're gonna have to get that downloaded and all that set up. The first look of the truck itself is actually pretty nice. Looking on the outside here, very large front bumper. Looks like we might have an LED strip in here. Fairly large rear bumper. You can see where the wheelie bar and the wing will be sticking out. A little bit of a roll cage here, so hopefully that's some protection for the body. The body itself is quasi-familiar. Kind of looks like our friends from Arma. The infraction looks very similar, but overall probably going to be a pretty fun looking body, pretty fun vehicle. So right here, I like this. This is kind of a body protector, kind of a skid plate here on the side. Hopefully that'll help with there. Tires are, I'd say, like a medium compound. They're not as hard as I felt. They're not as soft as I felt. Somewhere there in the middle. On the underside here, we start to see some interesting things. So here is the whole GPS module right here. It's going to be feeding into the phone app once we get that set up. We have our 2-in-1 receiver and ESC unit with a servo mounted below it. When it looks like GPS is 3-wire. We do have lights switched that come up here. And then it does look like the servo is actually a 3-wire servo. So again, we may be able to upgrade it if necessary. Big brushed motor with a heatsink with a fan. That is awesome. The plug, interesting, I've never quite seen this on the Dean's or T-plug style, is a 90-degree version, but that's going to be in there to help us plug into those unique batteries that it comes with. Unlike some of the previous models that we've tested, those are actually metal oil-filled shocks with adjustable collars on them. Dude, that is full-on hobby-grade stuff. There were no marks in the box to suggest that any of the oil has leaked out. That is really, really cool. Control arms, pivot points, everything, all fixed links, which do help with durability. When we're flicking back here to the back, check this out. Look at how beefy those drive shafts are. I don't think I've ever seen on any of these small scale vehicles drive shafts that large. That's staggering. We have full metal drive shafts, full oil filled shocks. This is kind of like, the only thing this thing's missing is a brushless setup. If this was brushless, it would literally have everything straight out of the box. The battery hold down is just a simple switch here, no wires, no nothing else necessary there. It just comes straight off. Look at that. As we noted before, the wing and the wheelie bar both need to be added. I'll be honest, I've been sitting here staring at this wheelie bar for a few minutes trying to figure out how it goes on. It looks like lower screws go here, and then this part's actually adjustable. It comes up and you have to take these two screws out, put them back in, and then you'll have a wheelie bar like that, and it is actually adjustable through position. Now the instructions never actually tell you how to put the rear wing on, but it becomes self-explanatory. It looks like it just bolts straight in here to the shock tower with 4 screws through the front. Issue with that is I don't think you can actually do that with the shock tower in place, so it looks like we're gonna have to take 4 screws out here to lift the shock tower up, put this back in, and then maybe at that point we can get it all screwed back in. A little bit contorted. There we go. Wing and wheelie bar on really makes the truck look a lot better. It definitely is made for it. Highly suggest you go through just a couple minutes that it takes to get that on there. Now I'm going to say again, I've never found out yet what these little tethers are for. It's nowhere in the instructions. I don't see anything on it, but we have batteries charged up. We have the vehicle. Let's give it a shot. Controllers on, batteries plugged in, and I noticed something. There's no power button anywhere. So on the controller here, there's a button. If you push it once, it doesn't do anything. Push and then hold until all the lights come on. Vehicle comes on. So the battery is some kind of a smart battery that actually you can turn on and off, triggers on and off. You see we have the battery indicator here as to how full it is. That's all great. That's cool. And look at this. We have this working, fan spinning up on top. The function button up here on the top of the controller turns the light on and off. So we can have a light or we can turn it off. It seems like it works. We have steering. Steering's a little bit to the right, so we can use the steering trim and correct it a little bit there. Steering dual rates all the way up. Forward and reverse works. And now look, this mystery button right here on the side, I have no idea why they did this, but for some reason, if you grip your controller and your thumb hits this button, it immediately gives the full throttle. And I don't know why that would be there. That seems like a bad idea, especially you get kids, maybe with small hands, and they're trying to drive it, and all of a sudden they hit this button and the thing takes off at full throttle. So, not too sure about that. Not too sure about that feature, but looks like the truck runs. right, so turn the steering wheel. You can see the steering wheel turn. Now what if you hit the gas? Gas. Oh, you can see the RPM. Oh, that's fun. And it's giving us a battery voltage, like a, see there on the left? It's giving us kind of like a battery voltage about how low the battery is. So here, do a speed run up and down the road. Let's see what it says. Ow.
Wait, does it show exact speed?
It shows a mile per hour. I don't know if it's right or not.
Maybe.
It says so far we've done a maximum of 6.
That does not look like 6 miles an hour.
That's 20. It got 20 before you let off. Turn around and come back. Oh, it showed 21. That's pretty fun.
Woohoo!
It shows battery usage. We've been driving it for 11 minutes. It shows real time that we're at 7 volts.
I want to see if I can get faster than 21.
I want to drive it far away and come back. Because look, it has a little map here. So drive it off in the grass.
Holy!
Dude, it's actually tracking where your car is going because it has the GPS in it. So it's actually giving us like your car is over there as it goes.
That is very useful.
Yeah, and then you can come back. And you can come back, you can see you're coming back towards yourself. You probably can't drive it from this.
Wait, it's the car symbol and that like
yes,
blue.
the blue dot's us.
Car symbol.
And it's the car symbol, yeah. Look at that, that actually works. That's pretty cool. I wanted to show you here on the screen a little bit more. Hopefully you can see this better than when we were outside running it. But you can see down here when I turn the wheels of the car, it actually turns here and you can actually see how much you're turning. Up here you have the battery voltage, so all the way from full to empty. So while you're looking at the app, you can actually monitor remotely what your battery voltage is. Now here you have some level of an RPM sensor, right? So I'm spinning, now I'm just driving the vehicle. I've got it suspended in the air. So since the vehicle's not actually moving and it has GPS satellites locked in because it's been sitting here for a while, but since I'm not moving, it's not showing a mile an hour. I need to actually get out and drive it, and then it actually shows a mile an hour here and it'll show you your max mile an hour. Really quite a cool thing, really. The whole thing even lets you up here check the battery voltage and how long it's been running. You can go in here and you can set different settings as far as like a stopwatch and the units, this type of thing. Underneath your personal person here, it'll talk about how many cars you've connected the app to, total run times, how many miles you've driven. Now, overall impressions now that we've driven and really enjoyed this truck, I'll be honest, it's really rather good. I am really impressed with the durability. I mean, we crashed it a bunch and it just kept tumbling and coming back for more. The design is strong. It has some really cool features. You know, what they're doing here with these batteries and everything. It's good and bad all at the same time, but it's definitely technologically like a little bit more advanced, you know. Really an interesting vehicle. If you're considering getting it, I do recommend it. It is on the recommended list now, but there's one thing to talk about, and that is its brother. So also from Hosim, so from the same company, same scale of truck, doesn't have some of those technological features, doesn't have the GPS, doesn't have the app, doesn't have all that kind of stuff, but it is brushless instead of brushed. It'll handle 3S. This thing is a beast. I've had it out, and I'm going to link to you here at the end of this video. Right over here, I'm going to give you a link to where I took this thing to the skate park and just utterly abused it, and it kept coming back for more and kept coming back for more. Now, I haven't taken this one to the skate park yet, but if it is anywhere near as durable as this one, which I believe it should be, these are both winners. So video is going to pop up right over here. You can click on that. You can see this truck in action, and we will see you in that video. Thank you and goodbye.